Hey guys, my name is Chris Panagapko, and today I'm going to be showing you a system that I made using an app called Notion. It's a personal productivity system. It's designed to capture all of your ideas, everything that's in your head. So starting with goals, breaking those goals down into projects, and then breaking those individual projects down into tasks that are then scheduled on a daily basis. And it's complete with daily, weekly, and monthly reviews to help you stay on top of everything. I've created this system for myself, but I figured I'd share it. If you haven't already heard of Notion, it's an amazing app. It's an all-in-one workspace. You can create pages, notes, capture ideas, anything that's in your head. So full disclosure, I borrowed a bunch of ideas to put this together. It's something that's working really, really well for me. But a lot of those ideas came from a gentleman by the name of August Bradley. If you haven't heard of August already, you should check him out. He's really on another level when it comes to Notion and this personal productivity stuff. He has a system called Pillars, Pipelines, and Vaults, which I did spend some time this weekend implementing, and I found that it's a little bit complex for my needs right now. So I've taken some good ideas from that as well as from some other systems, and I boiled it all down to a simple one-page personal productivity task and goal management system within inside of Notion. Check it out. So here we have the dashboard. Basically, I have a theme for the month. And these are set manually, the theme and the focus. So the theme is for the month and the focus is for the week. These are just general concepts that I want to keep kind of in the crosshairs so that I'm not forgetting them. So we have a few different parts here. We have the workflow, which is where we're going to live on a day-to-day basis. We have the nerve center, and in the nerve center, that's where we're going to set our goals, break the goals down into projects, break the projects down into tasks, and then we're going to stay on top of everything with daily, weekly, and monthly reviews. At the bottom here, I have the scratch pad. Notion can be a little bit difficult if you're on mobile. So this is right at the bottom. So I can open this up very quickly and just add items that I need to get from the grocery store, ideas that I come up with, and then just kind of quick notes throughout the day. And then they're sort of front and center and then can be converted into tasks or goals or what have you. Over here on the right, I have my radar. This is my not to-do list and things I'm trying to change, and maybe an inspirational quote. Okay, so we're going to start with the nerve center. So we've got goals, projects, tasks, and reviews. So goals are where we're going to set things that we want to achieve. Projects are then going to be what those goals are broken down into. Each project is then going to be broken down into prioritized tasks, and then we're going to stay on top of it with daily, monthly, and weekly reviews. So in goals here, I've got a few kind of sample things set here. We can look at each one of these goals is going to have a status, a category, a term, target completion date. These two fields here, I can put in numbers, so I can put in, 50 and 100, and it's going to automatically draw this progress bar here. This is just a formula here is actually how that works, and I'll make a note of that in the video description below. We have a roll-up that counts the number of projects associated with this goal, and then we have a relation here to the projects database. So in the case of this goal, for example, debt-free, it's associated with the project debt payoff, right? We have the goal is to become debt-free. That's kind of an abstract idea. We want to be setting specific and measurable goals, but getting into the projects and then the tasks, that's when we're going to get more granular. So we can go into this goal here, open it up, and we've got the various fields in the table here, and then we've got an embedded view of any projects that are associated with that goal, and I've done that here with a filter. This is actually a template within Notion, and Notion added a feature recently where you can take templates and you can reference themselves so that, for example, this filter here, I didn't actually have to go in here and set debt-free. When I look at the template for that, for the new goal template, I can open it up and edit it here. This is kind of cool. So the filter on projects here, when I go to filter, so the field here is referencing the name of the template, and that will automatically change and update when this template is used to create a new goal. So we'll just head back into the goal here real quick. We've got the projects, and then I've just got some notes. I think it's important to set a why. There needs to be sort of a feeling place for, why you want to achieve a goal. That's going to help you, stay motivated, stay on track. And then real quick, the steps to achieve it. So what I would do is I would set a goal and then I'd enter these steps in order what I think, just doing a little bit of research or whatever I have to do, what I think needs to be done in order to achieve this goal. And then I would later use this as a basis for creating my project or projects and then the individual tasks. So that's the goal. The goal is linked to a project here. And we can look here in the projects database. So here's the project. You'll notice projects have priorities. I think that's important. We've also got a linkage to the tasks database. So any tasks associated with this project are going to show up here. We can open that up. And similar to the goal, we've got an embedded tasks database that would show any tasks associated with this project. And then we've got the notes area here. So we'll close those up. And then under tasks, we can create a new task here. I'll call it test task. Okay. Open that up. And here, we can set priorities for tasks. I like to use the priority 1, 2, and 3 system. And then I've got priorities here for errands, which I like to schedule outside of work hours. And if something's scheduled, I also have a quick priority that can be used kind of just for things, if you have a minute. They're not really, things that absolutely need to get done. But you can set these up based on your own priorities. That's fine. That's the beauty of Notion. It's completely flexible. You can change any of this. And then I've got kind of a template in here, but I don't think there's much. I think, so it's just notes. I'm not really using this template because I find on the tasks view, it's more important to be able to enter them quickly than to spend a lot of time on each task. So again, tasks get done, then projects get done, and then goals get done. It all rolls up. And then what we have here is the daily reviews. So each day we've got habits here. I've got some metrics to track, how much sleep did I get the night before, my weight. We've got these check boxes for these habits. I've got a ranking system for how my nutrition was that day, what percentage of my time, a guesstimate of what percentage of my time was spent on schedule, and how good was my output for the day. And these are all rolled up at the bottom. We've got the rolling averages here, so I can stay on top of the habits that I need to do in order to achieve my potential and be at my best. And then, so each day, all the days roll up into a week. So we have another database here for weeks. And each week, so we've got a template. Actually, let me go back to days real quick here. So in the morning, I'll wake up, I'll enter this data here. I'll, check off the habits that I'm working on as I do them. Then I'll enter the rest of this data kind of in the evening. And then I've got this daily review here. So, I look for things. Is there anything I did today that I can automate, right? I'm going to make a note in the Scratchpad to work on that. Then I review my tasks. Anything that didn't get done, this is the prompt here to reschedule it. So anything that didn't get done needs to be set to another day. These are a couple of tools that I use, third-party tools that I use for my specific line of business that I want to have a reminder to update. And then I want to zero my inbox, which means clearing out, basically archiving absolutely everything unless I haven't dealt with it yet. And even in that case, email should be brought into here, so that I'm always working in here and I always know what I'm working on. I can stay organized. And then I have a spot here for some reflection. What was awesome today, and did I learn anything today? I'm not a real big fan of the term disappointments or what were the losses today. I believe you only really win or learn. There's the entire concept of failing forward, and failure being part of success, right? These are important things to reflect on and to track. So then I have my weekly review, which I do on Sunday. We're going to have some roll-ups here that are going to take the averages, my average output, my average on schedule for the week, my average nutrition, workout count, that sort of thing. So I'm going to be able to see that on a weekly view, like how am I doing, week to week? Did I have kind of a crappy week or did I have a better week? You can't improve what you can't measure, right? So this is important. Also in the weekly review, I'm going to review the tasks that I got completed that week. That's going to help me feel, a sense of accomplishment. I'm going to review the radar and refine anything that I need, reflect on any wins or lessons. And then I'm going to review all the work in progress. So this is the prompt here where we're going to review any tasks that are currently waiting. We're going to review the projects and make sure each project has a scheduled next task. Review the last 2 weeks of the calendar for any follow-ups that are needed, or review the next 2 weeks of the calendar for any prep that's needed. And then on Sunday, just going to kind of do some housekeeping items here, and then create the entry for the following week. At the end of the month, I'm going to do the monthly review, and each month here, as you can see, has a theme that's set and is going to link to the weeks that are inside that month. Again, I want to do some reflect on the wins, lessons, review tasks that were completed. But the monthly review is where I'm going to take time to look at my goals again and reevaluate, update the timelines, make sure this thing still makes sense, add any new goals that I have. I believe in setting goals 3 months out at a time. There's a great book called The 12-Week Year Basically, the premise is rather than, kind of doing your planning and goal setting once a year, you do it every 12 weeks, so every quarter, which I think is a much more manageable amount. The month is also where I'm going to review my habits and refine those like, does it still make sense to be waking up at 6 a.m. or is that unrealistic? And, I'm going to go for 7 a.m. or whatnot. That's when I'm going to change those is on the monthly review. I'm going to create a backup of Notion. So Notion allows you to export all this to PDFs, which is not great, but it's something. If for whatever reason they went out of business tomorrow, I wouldn't want to suddenly not know what I have to do. I'm going to do some month-end bookkeeping here and then create the entry for the next month. And it's important when I'm creating the entry in the database for the next month that I set that month's theme, just as when I create the next week, that I set a focus for that week, and then each day that I'm just kind of staying on top of the habits and making sure that I get this done. If I don't do the reviews, the entire system collapses because and I'm going to show you why in a minute here. So up here we have the workflow, and the workflow is kind of where I live. In the today view here is basically the tasks database, and that's going to automatically filter and show. I don't have anything in here right now, but it's going to automatically filter and show. By the way, this is all test data. I have a second copy of this that I'm using with my own personal data, but so any tasks for today would show up in here. I just want to draw attention to this. This is a concept that I learned from August Bradley, which is the due date, which is the DO date, not the DUE date. So if you leave things to the DUE date, that's when the absolute deadline is. Then you're rushed. Things aren't going to get done. The idea with the DO date is you're setting the date that you're actually going to do this task. And that gets really cool when you open up the calendar view, which is actually going to show each of your tasks with their priority on the day that task needs to be done. And at the end of the day, whatever didn't get done, you can literally pick it up and move it to a different day, which I think is super powerful. If we're waiting on something, I move the task to the waiting view. And again, that's reviewed as part of the weekly review. Any tasks that are waiting, do I need to follow up or is it ready to be scheduled? And then the other view here I have is next, which is just going to show basically any tasks in the next 7 days. And I'm doing this all with filters. It's the same database. The tasks database is the same in each of these toggles, but it just has different filters. So this one, where status is not complete and due date is today. This one where status is not complete and due date is within the next week. And waiting is where status is waiting. And that's kind of self-explanatory there. So that was my introduction to my personal productivity system that I'm calling Atom. Again, it's meant to be a radically simple system for setting goals, projects, tasks, and just getting things done. The system is based on Notion. If you have any questions or you want me to make any more videos, don't hesitate to reach out. You can leave a comment below, and bye for now.